So why is it only lead-based? Okay, fine, you can measure it. But why can't I put my display advertising there for the purpose of branding and positioning, if nothing else? Right? The fundamentals are the same. If my customers are online, well, I will go and put my boards online. If my customers are on search engines, well, I will use search engine optimization or paid search and get to my customers. Right? Even companies today are realizing it. They're spending hundreds and thousands of dollars, not on just lead-based, but even on branding, on creating awareness about the products and services, to interact more with customers. Take customers, bring them into their own environment, let them play games, let them run contests, give them a deeper understanding of the products, communicate with them, and it's all two-way communication, right? The borders are really merging. It doesn't matter if it is online or offline. Another point was demographics. Okay, online we have seen, okay, it is predominantly English speaking today. You do have a lot of young people, 93% are young, it's under 40 years old, right? There are still 40% to 60% from the top 20 metros in the country. But again, is that relevant? If you have a product which you can sell online, if you have your customers online, put your money on the internet. If you do not have your customers on the internet, do not. It just doesn't make any sense, right? So it has to be a combination of both. It is irrelevant whether, who exists online, who doesn't exist online, who's there, who's not there. Key question is your customer online? And focus on that fundamental. Right? Stop looking at the world is doing. It's not a wishing well, you put in money and out comes a whole lot of business. Right? It depends, do you have your customers online? Another thing is about, again, the huge debate which goes on constantly about digital agencies versus offline agencies. I was talking to the head of strategy for WPP a few days ago at the Digital Summit. And these guys are turning around annually about $4 billion in advertising spend. I mean, that's turnover of all the companies put together, right? Of that, 20% is digital. And these are not traditionally focused digital agencies, right? A lot of them might be, but a lot of them are not. And they're actually encouraging their companies to also see that digital is something you've got to embrace. It is something which is a part of what you've got to do. It is a part of the solution that you take to your customers. Okay, you might have specialists who execute certain campaigns, right? But as a part of the whole thing, it is, end of the day, what does a customer want? Give him that, right? If you think that he can get more value out of his spends online, advise him on that, guide him on that. But it's not like a fixed rule that you've got to spend 8% of your spend on the internet. It holds absolutely no value. And okay, today there are a lot of companies. It just happened like that. A lot of startups came up. It is a new way of thinking. There are a lot of new companies that have started up who are very, very focused on the digital space. But it doesn't matter. I mean, it's not that they have to be different. They can also be the same. Okay? And that's happening as you go forward. And finally, the skills and experience needed for the two are different. Okay? Now, the key question here is that what do we really mean by skills and experience here? Okay? Two sides to it. One is the technology and the tools that we use. One side is the understanding of the fundamentals of marketing and advertising. They're two different things. Irrelevant of whether you're online or offline, irrelevant of what tools you use, what techniques you use, what technology you use, you still have to understand the basics. You've got to have a little bit of experience, I feel, in the area of advertising and marketing. Right? So if you have people, let's say, who are joining fresh in the digital space, excellent. You will learn about marketing and advertising as well as the tools and technologies. But if you already have been a part of the offline industry, guess what? If you migrate, it is one thing less to learn, which is about advertising and marketing. Then it's just about new tools and technologies. And I would like to end it by saying that it certainly is an amazing space to be in. It's extremely dynamic. It is growing extremely fast. And there is a shortage of very good people. And like even Vivek had said before me, it is astronomical how fast people are growing in the digital space in short spans of time. What people take 7 to 8 years to get to in the traditional space, people are growing very fast. So it is a fact, whatever said and done. But end of the day, the fundamentals really are the same. So guys, thank you. Big clap. So I'd like to, I guess, open the house for any questions. Yes, go ahead.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Harish spoke about the basics, understanding the basics of technology, but can you stress a bit more on what those basics are? When you say that you don't need to be a techie, a hardcore techie to do well in online marketing, but you need to have your basics well. So can you just elaborate a little more on those basics?
What I meant was that, let's say, if today we have to design the online strategy for the Tata 1 lakh rupee car, how are my goals, my principles going to be different when I'm doing my, split between my media spends between various mediums, or the objectives that I'm trying to achieve. Finally, if it's about communication, it's about, it's about doing the right communication at the right time to the right person. Now, if that is the underlying basic, then how does it change between internet being a medium, mobile being a medium, or print being a medium? There's a wrong notion that everyone says technology. I don't understand technology. To me, I think TV as a technology is much more complex. I don't know anything how the TV works or how the TV metrics, the measurement metrics are done. But does that mean that, or any one of the marketing people understand that? But somehow when it comes to digital, people just get awed by the fact that how the technology works, how it is getting done. It's about showing the right ad at the right time to the right person, right? And I just need to do all my planning and budgeting as per that. And then the additional advantage is that I can. This is clearly the most high engagement medium, as compared to any other medium. It's most most engaging. You can interact, you can communicate with your customer. It's not a one-way communication; it's two ways. So, and then it is more measurable. What Sidharth was also trying to this thing. So, if we just stick to these business objectives and just not get awed by the tech that goes behind it, I think it's no different, really.
And I agree. Even talking about just talk to talking about, to add to what he's saying, on one side is the tech, and like I said before, you have more tech people in this country than probably any other country in the world. And tech is something which is already very well understood, and people take care of it. Now, what we're talking about here is the marketing and the advertising part, right? And that is, see, there is a learning curve with everything you do. It's not that there is no learning curve. Like I said, if you go to television or radio, there is a learning curve. You will need to understand the medium. And even internet is about understanding the medium, except you might get a little more hands-on and even executing campaigns, which is more than anything else a little more challenge and more exciting, I think. And you obviously learn a lot more along the way. So that is what. So you don't have to be a pure techie kind of thing to get into this medium.
If I get it correctly, can I summarize it saying that online marketing is more of a soft skills medium, where you need to be good at probably sometimes audio, video, social media, search engine optimization, and so it's a soft skill medium. Would you say that?
See, it depends again on what you want to try and do and what campaigns you're running, right? And it depends on what you are doing. Like if you're going to be purely in the creative front, working with Flash or whatever other technologies exist on the internet, you will need to get your hands a little dirty as far as the technology is concerned. If you are in the side of monitoring and analysis, you will need to get your hands dirty with the technologies available, tools available, and as well as statistics probably. You're developing, you've got to know the technologies, right? But it depends on the role. But if you're the strategy side, then of course, then you need to keep this information super first, know more from the point of view of what all options exist on the internet and how do I put them together to come up with a campaign for the clients. So it really depends on what role you play. There is a fair amount of tech, it goes without saying, right? There is a fair amount of tech, but it really depends upon what do you want to do in that medium.
I think, just to give you one small example, I don't want to get into names, but I know of a customer of mine, very senior person, almost 2.5 decades of experience in marketing and advertising, is very awed with the Web 2.0, so he really wants to do something on 2.0. And the only problem there is that he's not experienced it. I don't know whether he's ever gone and read a blog, whether he's ever written a blog, does he use the video sharing site.